Now, the joy of fish pies is you can use any fish you want, anything that's around, anything that's seasonal, anything that's cheap. I've gone for a good mix, which I think is important. So we've got some naturally smoked haddock, which is lovely. We've got some whiting, which is always good and cheap, and some salmon, which again tends to be fairly inexpensive these days. First thing we're going to do with it is poach it. So we've got some milk in here, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some bay leaf, so you get that fragrance from the bay leaf. I'm going to lightly poach it. I don't want to cook the fish completely. So just take the salmon, big pieces. Same with the whiting, just down the middle. You can even flake this if you want, just tear it apart. The temptation always seems to be a little bite-sized piece, a forkful. But by the time you've cooked it, it begins to break down. And that means you're just left with a pile of mush. We want to keep the shape of all of this. So once you've cut it into these nice big pieces, into our milk. And I just want that to cook for 2 to 3 minutes or so. The milk in here we're going to use for our sauce, and so you're getting some lovely flavour in there, particularly the smoked haddock. That's working beautifully well. So that goes in there, and you can see that the milk is just barely simmering. It's warm, so the fish is just starting to gently cook in there. While the fish is poaching, just a couple of jobs we can do. Chopped parsley. This will just give a little bit of grassiness at the end, because of course it's a creamy pie, this one. And what you don't want to do is it be too overpowering. So this lovely freshness of the parsley will work so well. Now, another creamy element we'll put in here are some boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs. And again, it's just roughly chopped them. This is all really simple stuff. You don't need to make it complicated for yourself. Now, it doesn't take long for this fish to cook at all. All you're looking for is, look, as the colour begins to change, that's it. We're pretty much ready to go. It's just a little bit of the cooking has happened. Now, simply just get all of this fish, scoop it out of the liquor and pop it into your dish for cooking. Now remember, you've got all the lovely flavour, you've got the smoked fish, so straight away the flavour of this milk is now exquisite. The final fish that we're going to use for this are some prawns, just some lovely raw prawns. Sprinkle those over the top like that. Then, now this is an optional bit, but I really like it. These are some little mini capers. I quite like the vinegary quality of these because they cut through, again, all of the creaminess. Then all of our delicious hard-boiled egg, sprinkle that onto the top as well. And then our chopped parsley, that goes on too. Now the sauce is a classic white sauce, one of those ones that we all worry about a little bit, that it's going to be too lumpy. The thing is, just take your time with it. So once the butter has melted, like that, then what we do, just tip all the flour in, and this makes your classic roux. Mix that around until it all becomes nicely combined into a little paste. Well, I think that the boys are more than capable of doing this. They're clever lads. Now look, what we've done is the butter and the flour are now starting to bubble. That means that the flour is cooking out. That's what you're looking for. That's the key to this at every single point. Now what we do, our beautiful poaching liquor that we had from the fish, 1 spoonful of that goes into our roux. And then once it goes in, work it. Really work it hard. You're looking for these bubbles. The bubbles mean that the flour is cooking. That means you won't get that horrible floury flavour. Look at that, that is gorgeous. See how nice and smooth this is now? And it's working really well. So why don't we pop in a big load? There we go, all of it's in. All of those lovely fishy flavours in there. Now there's one final thing that we're going to do to make this a really delicious, creamy, fantastic sauce. And a bit of light cream cheese is the final ingredient that goes into our sauce. And just a big dollop of that. And then again, get our whisk and gently whisk this in. Now that is looking like a rather nice sauce. So our sauce is done, the fish is done. And just get all of your sauce and pour it over the fish. And you know, with some dishes, you just know it's going to be delicious no matter what happens. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. Now, quite often with fish pies, what tends to happen is you'll now put mashed potato on top, which I do really love. But what we've got is a big load of creaminess. So I thought what would be quite nice to do for the boys is a golden sweet potato layer. Now, it's always nice when you put something like a crispy layer on top to have plenty of butter with it. But if you do it this way, I've just melted a small amount of butter, and I'm going to toss the sweet potato in there, a little sprinkling of salt and pepper on there as well. And this cuts down the amount of fat that you need, but still gives the effect that we want. So it's going to be nice and crispy and nice and tasty. Just really give them a good coating. And again, this is all about being simple. It's about taking it nice and easy. You don't need to kind of be particularly fancy with it. Just keep layering up until all the top is covered. It's that easy. Then it's into the oven about 180 degrees, about 20 to 25 minutes or so, just until the potatoes are nice and soft and crispy